Hello, hello. How is everybody tonight? I just want to let you know now that if you lose me, I'm just looking for a ribbon. If you lose me, it is because there are storms in the area. We're actually under a tornado watch, and I've heard some rumbles of thunder in the background. Nothing really close yet, but just to warn you, just in case. Let me just get rid of these. These are my coloring for my Patreon group. Send you storms. I think they're on their way to you, Emma. All right, so welcome to another Mystery Card Monday. I hope you're doing well. We're going to go through what I asked you to get prepared and know that this week it's much easier than last week. I really did think last week wasn't going to be so difficult, honestly. And so this week I decided to do something that's just a tad bit easier. And we're going to start with, our card is going to be portrait. So we needed 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm trying to think. Let me just pull this out quick. This is gray granite. I decided to use gray tonight. And it's actually a perfect color for the weather that we're having. So we have an 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score it at 4.25. Okay. So our normal card base. So let's just burnish that so it's nice and straight. So it'll keep our card closed. I know, I'm sorry, Do. All right. Then I asked you to get some coordinating cardstock, and you needed 2 of them. 2 at 5.25 by 4. Okay, so I actually did one in gray granite and my second one in basic gray. Okay. Then we needed coordinating cardstock, 1 at 5.5 by 2.5, 1 by 4 by 2.5, 1 3.5 by 1.5, and then 1 2.5 by 1.5. Okay. Then for our design, hey Karen, hey Sheila, you're having a terrible storm too. That's, like I said, if you lose me, that's why. My internet may go out because we're experiencing a very bad storm also. Right now it's in the distance, but we are under a tornado watch. So that's pretty interesting, right? Okay, so now designer series paper. Lots of pieces, but easy card. We need 1 at 4.75 by 2.25. 1 that is 3.75 by 2.25. And then 1 that is 3.25 by 1.25. This 2.25 was this one. 3.75, 2.25, 3.25, 1.25. And then a basic white, 2.25 by 1.25. And this is going to be for our sentiment. So you need something, a sentiment that's going to fit on this piece. And also a 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 piece of basic white. Okay, so the basic white and one of our 5.25 by 4 is going to be for the inside of the card. So I'm just going to put that aside. Then I also told you to grab an envelope. Okay. So here are our pieces. I think what I'm going to do is grab my two-tone flora, and I need a sentiment. So I think I'm going to use the Thanks for Your Kindness from the Apple Harvest. Only because, like I said, I've been coloring these for my Patreon group. This is the coloring class this month. So it's out on my table or my desk, so I decided that's the sentiment that I'm going to use. I think it'll fit perfectly on this little piece. All right, so keeping it simple, we're going to grab that 5 1/4 by 4, and I got to find a glue that actually has glue in it. We're just going to adhere this 5 1/4 by 4 to the front of our card. I've never actually done a card in complete gray. Yeah, I like it too. Sunny and 80 there. My goodness, Karen. You're the one who usually has the bad storms, right? We usually are doing pretty good, but not tonight. All right. So now that we have that piece on the front, let's grab all of our other pieces. So if you would have noticed, we have the matte pieces, excuse me, for our designer series paper. And we could use either side, okay? I think I'm going to keep the hearts on the bigger piece. So let's add some glue and we'll mat all our pieces of designer series paper. So if you've been in the group today, you should have seen I have a designer series paper sale going on. It's all the paper. You get to sample all the paper that's in the new mini catalog that's coming out in September. My order has not yet gotten here, so I have no pictures of the designer series paper on my blog. But know that the paper in this mini catalog is gorgeous. And there are some really fun, different kinds of paper. Glow in the dark. I mean, really beautiful paper. And as soon as my order comes in, I will pop on to show you so you can see. But really beautiful. And then I also have an adhesive sale happening. And this is just exclusive to Gal Friday. I'm selling adhesives 30% off. So if you're low on your adhesives, now would be the time. It's going to be running for the whole week. All right, so here are our pieces of designer series paper. And this one is our sentiment. So I'm going to leave that for last. Now we're going to put our pieces on the front of our card. And you can actually put them on any way you wish. Okay? And so depending on how you want this to lay out, yeah, thanks, Sheila. Isn't they're cute, right? This is the 6x6 papers that are in the catalog, and they're fun. So depending on how you want to lay it out, you can add these to the front of your card any way you want. And you do have to remember that we still have a sentiment to add on to this, okay? And this actually would be a perfect masculine card. So I'm going to start by taking the largest piece and I'm going to put it towards the left of the card. Oops, and glue it down. I love that you have a chance to move it around a little, but it does sometimes move, right, when you're trying to get it down. All right, so easy peasy, right? Now this one, I'm going to center again towards the right of the card, and I'm going to again just glue it down. So I'm going to center it. I'm going to leave a little bit on this edge, just like I did on this edge. All right. And that looks like it's on there straight. And you don't have to put your pieces on this way. And then we have this piece. And I'm actually going to pop this piece up. Put a little dimension on the front. So anything fun and exciting happening in anybody's life. It's been quiet here. Just very, very hot. The humidity today has been horrendous. You really can't even go outside for any length of time. All right, we're going to put this on. I'm going to put it on the center, and I'm going to line my piece up with the edge of the designer series paper. I'm going to actually move it up a little bit. And that looks like it's straight. All right. Because we still have to put our sentiment piece on. And I want to be able to see that polka dot. I want to be able to see this. Yes, your mother-daughter. That is really a great idea, Adu. Your cards have been very, very pretty. All right, so we're going to I'm going to pop this piece up halfway. I want it to be on here. I'm going to center it on this piece. And I'm going to add dimensionals underneath and glue it at the top. Okay. So let's add some dimensionals. And then we're going to add some glue. Grab our card. I guess I should have made sure it opened in the right way before I even started. So I'm just going to center this on the front of the card. Make sure it's on here straight. And I think that looks good. All right, so it's glued, and then I have my dimensionals. So pretty neat front, and the papers actually look pretty good together. Okay, so let's pull in our little piece for our sentiment. And I'm going to grab, I think it'll fit perfectly. The only thing I am going to do that I always know, I don't do this that often, but when I need to get my stamp or my sentiment on straight, and this is how I do it. I don't do this often, but I take the backing off, and here's the sticker. And then here is the stamp. And what I try to do is line it up on one side so it is even with the cutout and lay it down and then pull it up, and hopefully, and it did, it went on fairly straight. I missed a little tiny piece, so it's over just a bit on the top. But I think it's on there fairly straight. So I'm actually going to use some memento, and to add a little bit of something to the back, I'm actually going to take the leaves from the two-tone flora, and I'm going to stamp a leaf on this so it's going to look so plain with just the sentiment. And I'm going to grab some smoky slate. I think that's the one I want. Maybe not. Let's see. Let's look at the gray granite. Try to match the card base, because that looks a little bit too green. All right, that one's a little better, I think. I'm just going to clean it really quick. My ink pad is pretty juicy. So I'm actually going to use my little spoon trick. I'm going to see all that ink. You can tell this stamp pad doesn't get used that often. And I am going to ink it up. And I'm going to stamp off. And I'm going to put this right across the center there. Then I'm going to take my memento, grab my sentiment, make sure it inks up really well. And we're going to put thanks for your kindness right in the center. And then we can pull our card back in. And I'm going to very carefully put a little bit of glue and lay it right onto the front of the card. And then I found this really pretty gray, I think it's gray granite. Let's see what it says. Yep, gray granite ribbon. Let's see if this pair of scissors will cut it. And it did. And I'm going to add a bow to the front of the card. Thanks, Sheila. It is, right? Different. And another good way to use and display some pretty designer series paper. I've been trying to come up with card ideas that we can use our designer series paper, because I know I have a lot. And, you know, you have little pieces and odd pieces that you need to use. All right, so I think I'm going to put my bow right here. Oops. Let's puff that up a little bit. All right, so there is the front of our card. Very attractive in gray, right? And then we'll grab our inside pieces. And I'm going to use these leaves again, using my gray granite. And I think I will just add it to the inside. We'll grab our matte piece, grab my seal. I'm curious to see how this dries. Because to me, it seems like there's so much green in it. You know, doesn't it? It looks green. All right, so let's... Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, the ribbon is retired, but it is pretty. All right, so there is our gray granite card, right? So the reason I told you to grab an envelope, and what did I do with mine? Oh, right here in front of my face. Is because you can always match your envelope to your card. Now you can do it with designer series paper. I don't know. Oh, I do have some. All right. I don't think I have any hearts left. So we can do it with our designer series paper. And what I would do is add some glue and then grab the designer series paper and glue it down to the flap. Okay. And then once it's dry, trim it from this side so you can see what you're doing, or you can stamp. So you could decorate your envelope. All right. So it will match. And we could also put our paper there. So then we have an envelope that matches our card. I'm just looking. This looks so green to me. It's crazy. All right, so there is our mystery card for this evening. Make sure create your card this week using our clues. Change it up however you like. Yeah, it does look green, right? I think it does too. I don't know why. And post it. I think I still have to pick, or I did pick, I just didn't announce it for this past Monday. So get your card posted, and that's only because I gave you extra time because it was such a hard card. So get your card posted by Friday, and I will pick another winner. Yeah, me too, Margaret. I really like it too. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And if you're experiencing storms, I hope they pass by quickly. Here too. Um, Thanks for joining. Thanks, Karen. You're welcome, honey. And have a great rest of your day. And I will see you on Thursday. Bye bye.